volume of prisms and volume of cylinders. Okay, first, what does volume mean?
Oh, the amount of space an object holds,
Right, how much it holds, the inside, right? So for volume of a prism, we're going to follow the formula V equals capital B times H. Now there's a reason I say capital B. Why can we not just say base times height?
I don't know.
What is base times height? That gives us the area, but we want the volume. Okay, so capital B is super important. Our capital B stands for area of the base. Make sure you're all writing this down. Area of the base. Okay, how many different prisms did we talk about yesterday? How many are there? We have a rectangular prism and we have a triangular prism. Okay, so we have two different base shape options. We have our rectangle and we have our triangle. Okay, how do we find the area of a rectangle?
I don't know.
Width times height, I'm going to call it base times height. So area of a rectangle would be base times height. Well, how do we find the area of a triangle? How is it different?
Oh no, we did so.
It's base times height divided by 2. Okay, so to find the area of the base, you're either going to have a rectangle or a triangle, and then dependent on which one you have, you're going to use its corresponding formula. Okay? And then the last part we need of that is our height. Now, do you think that height stands for the height of the base or the height of the prism?
Prism.
It's the height of the prism. Okay, what I want us to look at real quick is this model right here. I'm going to get us in the habit of shading our base shapes. So go shade your base shapes. How many bases should a prism have?
1, 2.
2. Prism should have 2 bases because remember, if you flip it over, it's sitting on that same shape. Okay, so our prism has 2. What's the relationship between the 2 bases and the height?
What?
What's the relationship between the 2 bases that I shaded in and the height?
The height's bigger than the base.
Okay, think a little different.
They both have edges.
Okay.
Are you using similarities or differences?
Notice how the height is connecting the 2 bases. You see that? The height is connecting the 2 bases. That's how you can tell which one the height is. Okay, because sometimes it can be tricky to see which one the height is. You look for the one that's connecting the 2 bases. Okay? Looking at our triangular prism, what should I be shading? What's our base shape? Triangle. Shade the triangles. And then notice this height. Why is that the height?
Because it's connected.
Because it's connecting the 2 bases.
Can't there be 2 heights?
Okay. There's multiple different sides, but they're all going to be the same length. Because you could have this is the height, this could be the height, or this one in the back can be the height. Yep, since it's 3D, there's multiple different options. Okay, but they're all the same length.
How come they're all the same length?
Because it's equal. The prism, it's like a box.
Prism is always equal.
Formula. Look at this example. So we're finding the volume of a prism. So we need to follow the capital B times H. So what I want us to do is I want us to shade our bases. Now, when you have a rectangular prism, it doesn't matter which one you shade as long as you're consistent. Okay, I'm going to pick this one. Okay. Where's the other base at if I shaded that one?
On the other side.
It's like hidden, right? It's back here. Okay, so again, what does capital B stand for? What did we say capital B stood for? Area of the base. How do I find the area of a rectangle?
Base times height.
Base times height. That part that I just shaded, what's the base and the height of this part that I just shaded?
8.
8 and 16. So we're going to take 8 times 16 in your calculator. Tell me what we get. 128. You'll get 128. Okay. What else do we need for our volume formula? We found capital B. Now we need the height. Okay. Now, again, is the height of the base or is it the height of the prism? The prism. How do we find the height of the prism? What is it? It is 25. Why is it 25?
Oh, did you just do 8 times 8?
Because it's the wall, the sidewall.
Right, and it connects what?
The, oh,
It connects the two bases together. So that's why it is 25. Okay? Now we have all the pieces. Now we use the formula and plug it in. So we take 128 times 25. And you should get 3,200. Now, what's another important piece that we have to have at the end? We have to have the label, centimeters with cubed. Sorry, I just told you the answer. With volume, we need it to be centimeters cubed. What did we use for area? To label area. What did we use to label area? We use squared. For volume, we have to use cubed. Okay? Now let's look at triangular prism example. Okay? Go shade your two triangles.
Triangle.
the two side triangles.
Okay, let me ask you this. Why are our bases the triangles?
I don't know. That's the shape of it.
Because they're the same size.
What'd you say? Right, because what it's sitting on, that rectangle, remember if I flip it over, is it still sitting on that rectangle?
No.
No. Okay, that's why we have to pick the triangles. Okay? So, we're still finding volume of the prism, so we need capital B times H. So, capital B, what does capital B stand for?
What?
Base,
Not just base, what does it stand for?
area of the base.
There you go, area of the base. So, area of a triangle, we said at the beginning, was base times height divided by 2. Okay? So, looking at that triangle that we shaded, what is the base and the height of that triangle? It is 5 and 2. So, what is 5 times 2? 10 divided by 2? 5. Now, we need the height. What's the height of the prism?
3 inches.
Why is it 3 and not 5?
It connects those two.
Yep, because it connects the two bases. So now we found everything. Plug it into our formula. 5 times 3 is 15
Inches cubed.
inches cubed. Good. Okay. Questions on volume of prisms? Okay, flip it over. Let's talk about volume of cylinder. Okay, the formula we're going to use for volume of cylinders is pi r squared h. What looks familiar in that formula? Abel.
Yeah, he was going to say pi r squared.
Pi r squared. Where is pi r squared from?
Area of a circle.
The area of a circle. Okay, so we're finding the area of the circle and then multiplying it by its height. It's the same thing as the prisms. Okay, so in this formula, what are the two things that we need from the cylinder?
Base.
We need,
The area.
think of the variables. We need the radius and we need the height in order to figure it out. Okay, so let's take these two examples up here. If we're following our pi r squared h, what is the radius of the top? What's the radius of that top cylinder?
Oh, 3.
3. Remember, radius is the halfway between the circle. And then what is the height?
12.
12. So do we have everything we need to use the formula?
Yes.
Yes. So plug it in. When solving, what needs to happen first?
The squared.
The squared needs to happen first. What's 3 squared?
9.
Why is it 9?
Because it's 3 times
3 times 3. Yep. So now, in your calculators, you're going to type all 3 of those at once. You're going to take pi times 9 times 12. So what did you guys get?
339.3 inches cubed.
Good. Yep. Good. Okay, looking at looking at that bottom one, what is the radius?
7.
Why is it 7?
Because it'd be half of the actual.
Yep, because we need half of the diameter. So we have 7, and then the height is
20 inches.
20.
26.
So do we have everything?
Yes.
Yep. So go ahead and plug it in. So we have 7 squared. What's 7 squared?
49.
49. And then what do I do with all 3 of these numbers?
Multiply.
Multiply them in your calculator. What did you guys come up with?
3,078. 76.
Yep. And then important label,
Oh, centimeters cubed.
centimeters cubed. Good. Okay. Go try that last one. Only do A. So again, with volume of cylinders, what are the 2 different parts that we want to know? What does R stand for? Radius and then the height. There you go. What's the radius? 7. What's the height? 14. Yep, now we plug it in. So we have 7 squared. What's 7 squared? 49. Okay, now multiply all of those together. What did you guys come up with?
2,155
Feet squared or cubed? Again, why is it cubed and not squared?
because it's volume.
Because it's volume. Yep. Okay, questions on volume of cylinders.